Hi, I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not worry about the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. And if you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you know we're talking about a lot of bright light, because the title of tonight's show is Tough Love Heals. And that's because there is a fabulous new moon on Sunday at 4 degrees of Pisces. And Pisces is a water sign, and all the water signs rule healing, each in their own way. So a Cancer or a Scorpio does it a little differently than a Pisces. But this is such a fabulous new moon in Pisces that all the things that Pisces represents are highlighted. And that is because Pisces rules charity, and it rules forgiveness, and it rules dreams, and it rules creativity as well, because Pisces rules the feet, and so Pisces rules dance. It also rules illusion and photography and the oil and gas business, and it also rules the whole pharmaceutical industry. And it rules, it's the sign of the two fish. One of the fish is sort of aiming pretty high, and the other fish is aiming for what's below. So sometimes Pisces can represent extremes in one way or another. But this new moon is certainly accentuating all the really positive things in Pisces. However, it's important to realize that Pisces also rules all areas of confinement. So it rules jails and prisons and sanitariums and concentration camps. And for that reason, it also rules escape. Sometimes people refuse to face their hidden doubts and fears, and Pisces does rule things that are hidden behind the scenes. So they escape through alcoholism or drug addiction or sexual promiscuity. And as typified by that fish that's swimming pretty low, in its extreme form, Pisces can also represent mental illness or insanity or even suicide. But that's not what we're talking about tonight, because this new moon in Pisces is one of the best that you'll ever have or experience, because it's completely unchallenged. That means that there are no planets in any of the other mutable signs, nothing in Gemini, Virgo, or Sagittarius to challenge the 4 planets in Pisces. So the Sun, the new moon, Neptune, the ruler of the sign, and Mercury, which is retrograde, are all in Pisces. And so because they're unchallenged, it simply accentuates for the good many of the things that Pisces rules. But remember, above all, it rules healing. So where does the tough love come in? Because that's the title of the show, Tough Love Heals. It comes in because the 4 planets in Pisces are being beautifully sextiled by 4 heavy-duty hitting planets in Capricorn. And that's because Mars is exalted in Capricorn. It is joining Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn, which is the ruler of Capricorn. And together, those 4 planets are beautifully sextiling and supporting the 4 planets in Pisces. Well, that's 8 of the 10 planets right there. And so Venus in Aries is right ahead of the new moon in Pisces. So Venus is sextiling the new moon, and Uranus in Taurus is also sextiling the planets in Pisces and trine the planets in Capricorn. So there is an enormous amount of very strong, sort of tough support around the planets in the gentle sign of Pisces. And that's why tough love can heal right now. And it's even stronger than it looks, because actually there are 3 malefic planets that can sort of get you in trouble sometimes. They are Mars, Saturn, and Uranus. But under the new moon in Pisces this weekend, Mars and Saturn are both in Capricorn, and they are trining that 3rd malefic planet, Uranus, which is in Taurus. So they're actually in very good aspect to each other, which actually makes them even stronger. And so that is why tough love can heal right now. And that is because we need to get over things. We need to heal. We need to go beyond whatever is restricting us in our own doubts and fears and insecurities. And we need to sort of reach beyond and go for that dream, or try to be even better at doing things, and we can do that. It also accentuates creativity. And also Pisces rules miracles. So don't be surprised if there's a miracle on your horizon, particularly one you can't even explain, but it could still happen anyway under this fabulous new moon. So because these very strong planets are in Capricorn sextiling the new moon, it simply means that we have to face facts right now, and we have to do that in order to follow the policies and the procedures, and particularly the legal precedents that reinforce or represent the highest standards of behavior under the law. And that is because those being sort of strict, following the strict rules and regulations that keep us all stabilized is very important, and that is reinforced by those 5 planets that are in the earth signs, all supporting the new moon as well. And so if we are to heal old wounds, we're going to have to work at it, and we're going to have to face them, and we're going to have to come up with solutions as well. But that's what the earth signs are for. They're very practical and realistic. So I think that that is certainly possible for everyone. And in fact, there are some ways that we can heal with this tough love. One of them is that we can be very practical about any kind of a business deal or of following government policies that tend to reinforce the work ethic and getting stronger through work, because hard work really helps cure mental illness. It helps build up your strength and improve your health. And that's what we need to go for right now. That's the tough love part of it. Because actually, as high tech speeds toward tomorrow and really explores the great unknown, overcoming our doubts and fears, overcoming our failures, having the courage to go on and try something again, or escaping the doubts and fears that confine us and hold us back, that is what can actually lead us to take pride in our accomplishments. You know, when we stand up and do our own work, we can be very proud of our efforts, and that's what can lead us on the path toward wisdom. And wisdom doesn't have anything to do with electronic gadgets. Wisdom has to do with your life experiences and what they teach you. And by following life's lessons and by working hard with a little tough love to solve your problems, you can put yourself on the path toward wisdom, and you can do it just one day at a time. And believe it or not, it's like taking one step at a time. It can lead you toward the path of happiness and fulfillment, and that can bring about a miracle. So all of that is possible now. All right, what does this idea of tough love healing mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, almost none of the planets are being challenged at all except yours. Yours is the only sign that has a planet in it that is facing a challenge. But it's an awfully good planet, Aries. It's Venus. So Venus in your sign can mean that you could be wanting to look your best, you could be very popular right now, and you could be wanting to start something new that is really that you're very fond of, something that you want to do either for yourself or your loved ones. That's great. You could be very enthusiastic about getting a new beginning off the ground, and all 4 planets in Pisces are right behind your sun sign, so there's a lot of light in the background of your life right now, Aries. People can see a lot of things and learn a lot of things about you that you didn't think was possible, but they can do that right now. And so this is a time when, if you're going to follow your heart's desire in one way or another, you could run into some pretty heavy hitters. You could run into people that are wanting you to live up to the very highest standards of behavior under the law, and they could be insisting on that right now. And that is because Mars, your own ruler, is exalted in Capricorn, but it's squaring your sun, and so is Jupiter and Pluto and Saturn in Capricorn. These 4 planets are being well reinforced because Uranus in Taurus is trining them, whereas there are no other planets in the fire signs to reinforce that Venus in your sign, Aries. So you are going to come up against some people that are really going to want you to do it by the book or do everything that they insist upon right now. I don't think you can get away from that, Aries. Should you choose not to listen to them, then you probably are going to be forced to do that in one way or another. Either that, or you could really jeopardize your career, or you could threaten your public reputation, which is what Capricorn represents. So this is a time when you should be at your charming best, but I hope you try to listen to other people too, Aries, because they are really in control right now, and so you'll have to conform. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a wonderful time for you because, you know, it's not just the planets in Pisces that are unchallenged. Uranus in your sign is also unchallenged. I mean, there's nothing holding you back right now, Taurus, and that is because yours is a fixed sign, and there are no planets in Leo, Scorpio, or Aquarius. So there's no planets in the other fixed signs, and Uranus in your sign is sextiling the 4 planets in Pisces. Your ruler Venus is in Aries right behind your sun sign, and also the 4 planets in Capricorn are all trining your sun. You really are in the driver's seat right now, Taurus, and yet you could be responding, even though tough love can heal, you could be responding to some gentle need of others right now. You could be wanting to step in and help them in one way or another. Yours is a financial sign. You might want to help somebody financially, but I think that instead, there is the possibility, Taurus, that you can be rather proud of something that you've been working on for a very long time. Capricorn rules time. It also rules retirement. And it can be that with all the planets in Capricorn trining your sun, that you are reaching some level of summation right now, that something is sort of coming to a head or being completed that you may have worked on for a very long time. It could even have been a dream of yours, and it could be coming true. So congratulations, Taurus. I think there is a well-deserved reward coming your way. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, this is a time when, since there are no planets in any of the air signs, there isn't anybody coming up with any grand new ideas right now. And so what you'll have to do, Gemini, is rely on whatever is going on behind the scenes and examine it carefully. And the reason why is that the new moon in Pisces, along with the sun and Neptune and Mercury, your own ruler, are all squaring your sun sign, Gemini. That means that behind the scenes, remember Pisces rules things behind the scenes, there can be little whispers going on, or there could be plans that are somewhat covert plans going on behind the scenes, or some gossip going on. And you know, you need to find a way to learn what's going on behind the scenes, Gemini, because it's not favorable to you. It could be challenging you in one way or another. So I don't know how you're going to learn what's going on behind the scenes, other than you could perhaps ask other people what's going on. Maybe they can relay that information for you. But in the meantime, I think you should stick to some big business plan that you have, Gemini, because Uranus is in Taurus right behind your sun sign, and it's being beautifully trined by all the planets in Capricorn. So there can be some new beginning that you could make. Venus in Aries is sextiling your sun, but I think it's got something to do with work or tough love, or something where people have to adhere to the highest standards for behavior under the law. And if that is being incorporated into a business deal, it could be a very lucrative business deal that could last a long time and bring financial security to everybody. So there could be a lot more going on behind the scenes in your life than you realize. And I would sort of slow down and try to find out what it is. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, This is a time when I think that you can be extremely pleased with something that can represent a healing in your life. It could be some sort of old wound that you're able to heal now. And that is because the 4 planets in Pisces, which are completely unchallenged but powerfully backed up by the others in Capricorn, those 4 planets in Pisces are trining your sun sign beautifully, Cancer. So you are going to find out something rather nice behind the scenes. It may be a secret that you hadn't known, but it could certainly benefit you in one way or another, Cancer. Or it could simply be that somebody has been perhaps even a little shy about letting you know what they think of you. In other words, they could like you quite a bit, but they could have been a little bit shy about telling you. And that could be coming out and delight you as well. So I think that if there is any truth that is coming out or being revealed about things going on behind the scenes, that will please you very much as well. And if there has to be tough love instigated in order to heal an old wound, that will be just fine. This could be very beneficial to your family or to a family member. And so I think it could even result eventually in some sort of change or move this summer that could be beneficial for you in particular, Cancer. So congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, there's only one planet in a fire sign right now, and that's Venus in Aries, which is trining your sun. That Venus, out of 10 planets, it's the only one that's under severe duress right now. But because it's trining your sun, it does mean that you probably have your mind on a new beginning, Leo. And it might involve travel. It might involve some sort of new love affair or friendship. It also might involve something that has to do with children or sports or the entertainment field. But whatever it is, Leo, it's something that I think you want to be involved in, and it could put you in the limelight, or it could put you around other people in a social setting. Maybe it's a big party that you want to go to. So that can be well favored since Venus is trining your sun. But on the other hand, everything costs money, Leo, and Uranus in Taurus, which is solidly backed up from all the planets in Capricorn, is squaring your sun sign. It might be that you've got your mind on something that's a little pricey right now and, and very luxurious as well. But can you really afford it, Leo? You have to ask yourself that question, because with Uranus in Taurus squaring your sun sign for the next 6 years, the value of your investments could fluctuate, so could the prices of things, and that's what you need to more carefully watch. But as far as tough love goes, I don't think that that's going to affect you too much, Leo. I think instead you're going to be sort of swept away in the excitement of doing something new, and that'll be good. It'll take your mind off your problems. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is certainly a wonderful time for you in your career. And the reason why is that Uranus in Taurus is trining your sun, and so are these 4 heavy-hitting, wonderful planets in Capricorn: Mars, Jupiter, Pluto, and Saturn. And so your career is going to take off. In fact, there could be some wonderful news about a promotion, an accolade, or some sort of recognition that would boost your public reputation right now. That could be coming up too. So, and it's well deserved. You've really earned it, Virgo. So that's the good news. But on the other hand, the 4 planets in Pisces, which are completely unchallenged and very powerful, are all opposing your sun sign. What could that mean? Well, it doesn't mean that you have to administer tough love, but it does mean that you might be a little disillusioned about finding out that someone is either keeping something from you. In other words, they haven't exactly told you the whole truth about something, or else it could be that you are at last discovering that someone is not quite the way they have portrayed themselves to you. And for that reason, you could end up being a little disillusioned under this new moon. It also can be that someone is finally deciding that they want to go in a new direction, and it might be something that requires tough love or a lot of hard work. So I hope that you encourage them, but at the same time sort of stay out of their way and let them do it their way, because they have a lot of support right now, and I think maybe they could sort of do something that would heal an old wound, and that would be good for them. So I hope you give them a chance. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, there aren't any planets in the air signs, and so that simply means that there aren't a lot of new ideas floating around, Libra. And also, it means that you may have to sort of backtrack a little bit. Remember, I said tough love is what heals right now. And by tough love, I mean that you have to face facts. You have to be more realistic about a business matter or a health issue or about your investments. And the reason why is that your own ruler, Venus, is in Aries, opposing your sun sign. So it might be that a new start gets delayed. And the reason it could get delayed is because there are so many planets in Capricorn, 4 of them, that are squaring your sun. And that means that you have to sort of go back and do your homework right now, Libra, or else it could mean that your employer is having a problem and their problem could become your problem. So you need to proceed very carefully right now, Libra. Okay, what does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, just like Cancer, you're going to be very pleased with some sort of miracle that could occur in your life, Scorpio. And that is because the 4 planets in Pisces under the new moon on Sunday are all trining your sun sign, which is wonderful. But remember, I said tough love heals. You may be involved in that, either administering tough love, in other words, wanting people to live up to the highest standards of behavior under the law. You could be insisting on that right now, or you could be driving a hard bargain in a business deal, or even insisting that government policies have to be enforced right now. And the reason why you could be involved with that is because your rulers, Mars and Pluto, are in Capricorn. Remember, they're sextiling the Piscean planet, but they're also sextiling your sign, Scorpio. And that means, since they are so powerful right now, that there could probably be a financial matter, since yours is a financial sign, that really has to be settled right now. And so you might have to be a little bit tough about that, or else you would have to follow strict guidelines in order to complete something. But you better do it, Scorpio, because it'll benefit you in the end if you do. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time when you too, just like Leo, could benefit from a new start, because Venus in Aries is trining your sun, which is great. Except that Venus is under a lot of duress right now. Remember, there's 4 planets in Capricorn that are squaring it, making it a little difficult to get a new beginning off the ground. So even though you can be very enthusiastic about that, what you have to really concentrate on, and the tough love that you may have to administer right now, could be to yourself, Sagittarius, because the 4 planets in Capricorn, which really mean business right now and are very strict and have a lot of power behind them, they can enforce what they are representing right now, the rules and regulations. Those planets are right ahead of your sun sign, Sagittarius. So if you want to make any kind of a new start, you are going to have to consistently follow one step right after the other, and you can't skip any steps, and you can't move forward too quickly. So I think you're going to have to be patient and just sort of remember, just take one day at a time. That's the path to wisdom, Sagittarius. So slow down a little bit if you can. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when, oh boy, you really are in the driver's seat, Capricorn. I don't think anybody should argue with you, because you have 2 of the 3 malefic planets in your sign, and a total of 4, Mars and Pluto and Jupiter and Saturn are in your sign, and they're all trining that 3rd malefic planet, Uranus in Taurus. I think that you are going to get pretty tough about something that really needs to be done now, and it needs to be done right, and you know it. And it also could be at the same time that you're wanting to make a dream come true. Remember, the planets in your sign are all sextile the the new moon in Pisces with 4 planets there. And so it may be that you are deciding to sort of, in a funny way, get very serious about a creative project or a dream of yours that you've really got to bring down to earth and start taking solid steps toward, one at a time. These would be practical business steps that you have to take. Perhaps forming a budget, getting supplies, planning a schedule. You have to do that, Capricorn, and now is a great time to do it. And that's how you could make miracle happen and administer tough love, maybe on yourself. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, there aren't any planets in the air signs again, and that Uranus in Taurus is going to be squaring your sun for the next 6 years. That'll really have an effect on you, Aquarius, because Uranus is your own sun sign ruler. So you may have your eyes on some pretty expensive things right now. Taurus does rule high-priced things that are of good quality. But the question is, can you really afford them? Well, you know, you just have to decide how hard you want to work at something. Work is actually highlighted right now in your life, and particularly doing work according to somebody else's commands or demands. And that's because the 4 planets in Capricorn, which are heavy-duty hitters, are all right behind your sun sign, Aquarius. So in the background of your life, you are having to face some facts and maybe some tough love from people that simply want you to really work hard on your job. So you'll have to do that. But at the same time, the 4 planets in Pisces are right ahead of your sun sign. You could have your mind on a dream that you want to have come true. But that dream has got to be affordable. So you're going to have to work hard to make the money before you can make the dream come true, Aquarius. So you gotta stick to the tough love part of it. Okay, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is probably one of the best new moons you will ever have in your lifetime, because the sun, the new moon, Neptune, your own ruler, and Mercury are all in your sign, and they are completely unchallenged. Does that mean you get everything you want, Pisces? Well, you know, as long as you don't ask for too much, that could be true. And remember, your sign does rule miracles. And so there can be some sort of miracle in your life, Pisces. It may come through some sort of realization, something that you had never wanted to face, but quietly you sort of see the light and you are willing to face something right now. And so it can be that there is some healing that's going to go on in your life, Pisces, through much better self-understanding. And with that healing, you could be deciding to overcome some failures and to make a better life for yourself. And you could do that as it pertains to your career, because the 4 planets in Capricorn are sextiling the 4 planets in your sign. So I think you are actually possibly going to administer tough love even to yourself, but that's simply to make your life better and help you with that, going on that path to wisdom. So I wish you the best of luck. All right, thanks so much for